The headlines on RT International. US-backed Syrian militia launch a major offensive to retake the city of Raqqa from Islamic State. RT's crew films American soldiers supporting the effort on the ground, despite not being invited by the Syrian government.
I'm from America, and I'm standing here south of Masa. Today's the first day of the Raqqa operation. It is important that the EPG takes Raqqa, or at least that Daesh is kicked out of Raqqa.
At the same time, America's military is engaged in an even bigger offensive in neighboring Iraq, where U.S. personnel are assisting in the campaign to push Islamic State out of Mosul. The FBI reveals it will not press charges against Hillary Clinton over her controversial use of a private email server as Secretary of State, this coming just a day before the election. Your Monday headlines here live on RT International. Thanks for joining us. The U.S. is to provide air cover along with ground assistance to a Syrian militia group launching a major assault on Raqqa. Our crew filmed this footage as American soldiers on the outskirts of the city help retake it from Islamic State, despite not being officially invited by the Syrian government. RT's Ilya Petrenko has more.
The battle for Raqqa has begun. America's jets are helping from the skies, and it looks soldiers on the ground.
I'm from America, and I'm standing here south of Masa. Today's the first day of the Raqqa operation. It is important that the EPG takes Raqqa, or at least that Daesh is kicked out of Raqqa.
Washington appears to be going further than just their declared mission: to train, advise, and equip its allies. These include Kurdish and Syrian Arab rebel militias. Damascus obviously never invited the Americans to start war operations in the country.
It is contrary to international law. The United States, with its special forces on the ground, technically were not asked to come in by the government of Syria.
So what's known as Operation Anger on the Euphrates, the U.S.-backed push to throw ISIL out of Raqqa, gets going, days before America votes. But wait, wasn't the U.S. administration going to take credit for the liberation of Mosul across the border in Iraq? That mission kicked off 3 weeks before the Clinton-Trump showdown. There was no lack in optimism.
ISIS is really about to receive a body blow.
The long-awaited assault, a much-awaited battle to recapture Mosul, has started.
But things didn't go as smoothly as expected.
We are really concerned about the extremely big humanitarian catastrophe that is going to happen.
We escaped from Mosul with the help of a smuggler. We have 8 children with us. We're suffering from the cold, from hunger, from thirst, everything. My child is sick. We wanted to get treatment for him, but we couldn't. He's 1.5 and can't walk.
What's concerning is people who are caught in the crossfire. Those innocent people of Mosul are the ones who require dire humanitarian assistance.
I've been walking for 14 days. Where is the help we need? I can't walk any further.
And from bad to worse.
The warplanes in Mosul are targeting Islamic State jihadists who use civilians and their homes as shields.
Who is to blame? What have we done to deserve this?
The owner of this house was Amir Mohammed Yusuf, my brother. He and his entire family was killed. There were 8 of them, including his pregnant wife and their 2 children.
Innocent people paid with their lives.
The United States and the Obama administration in particular, and the Secretary of Defense Ash Carter, were trying to do was to launch the operation at this moment in Mosul, in the second largest city in Iraq, really for not only military purposes, but for the purpose of political impact right on the eve of the U.S. election, to show that President Obama was succeeding in his mission that he proclaimed to the American people to degrade and defeat ISIS.
So does that mean it could get to a point where the Pentagon adjusts its objectives?
We're executing the Iraqi plan, and the Iraqi plan is that the only ones going in there right now are Iraqi forces. I have not seen any change in the plan
With that, I have been doing public affairs for a very long time, and I don't like to use the word never.
So, never say never, as since November began, we've got reports it's not only the Iraqis that were heading to retake Mosul. On top of these, photos and videos of American troops on the front line that we cannot verify started appearing online, possibly showing them even engaged on the battlefield.
I'll tell you something, what the Pentagon is doing, it's deploying U.S. soldiers on foreign land, and they are being predicted as and seen as enemy forces on the ground. What's happening is they send what they call in the media as consultants, but it cannot be a consultant. If you are a military man, you cannot go and consult. You have to train, you have to teach, and you have to be at the front line. They are there to fight.
So if these guys in military fatigues speaking American English really turn out not to be advisors but soldiers, will Washington ever come clean? Ilya Petrenko, RT.
It's exactly 12 years since Washington began what became the bloodiest battle of its invasion of Iraq. It took 2 months for the Pentagon to push insurgents out of the city of Fallujah, with hundreds of civilian victims becoming collateral damage. The controversy doesn't end there. A warning, you may find these images disturbing.